In the hypnosis world, I'm known for setting up processes that allow the practitioner to communicate in levels of trance, where previously communication did not seem possible. For instance, I found ways to communicate in the Esdaile State and the Sichort state, but not necessarily with language. This is why SP is so simple, and yet sometimes seems daunting for the first-time students. The problem is language, not the language of the process, language itself. Language is a conscious mind process, and yet we find the conscious mind, despite all its protestations, has very little to do with how we function in daily life. There are emotions and systems and programs and memories, habits, and who knows what else, that all affect how we act or react in every second. And none of those aspects of ourselves use language. And we know from neuroscience that mostly the conscious mind reacts to decisions already made rather than making the decision itself. So they say. So what actually happens, we can only guess. Because we have no way to stand outside ourselves and objectively view, we are subjective beings. After all, even science gave up logic and language once it hit the quantum era. Now science says we can explain quantum effects mathematically, but we can't explain it well with words. As they say, if you think you understand quantum theory, you don't understand quantum theory. And that's what SP practitioners know. If you think you know how human beings work, you don't understand how human beings work at all. And that's why SP works so well. Because we just allow the process. We don't control the process. We don't second guess or follow hunches or scripts or commands. We just allow. And then, of course, in SP, we don't just work with the client's mind's awareness. We work outside of that with something called the superconscious. Yes, whatever that may be. And that's when things can get really weird, because we've learned that the superconscious doesn't exist in a world of language, but will follow our language, as it doesn't go against our free will. The superconscious process wants to help, not take over. So if we specify, if we say superconscious, this issue is their diabetes. It will, to the best of its ability, work with the client on the diabetes, but not anything else. Even if the diabetes is a symptom of another issue, superconscious will limit itself to do what is asked. Simpson protocol is a process of learning how to work with superconscious in the most optimum, appropriate, and beneficial ways for the client at all times. Remember, it's not that things are complicated, it's that they're all connected. And if you want to achieve true holistic outcomes, we must be wary of putting boxes and fences around our session. It's so easy to assume the symptom is the thing, but it's just a symptom. What is causing the symptom? And how many causes are there? And where do those causes exist? So we say, superconscious, please work on everything that is creating disharmony and within and without this being. And everything else I don't even know about to ask. Can you please work on that? Again, not that I know anything about quantum mechanics, except language doesn't work well there. I gather in quantum, it's all about probabilities. All possible probabilities. In Simpson protocol, it's all about the possible possibilities. And that can make language a problem. Language is about all naming things and boxing things in. Not possibilities, but definitions. Now, following this thought all the way down the road, why are we using language? When we're working in systems and worlds that language doesn't function. Well, much to the dismay of the first-time student, I will say let's use telepathic. By that I mean sidestep the language. Create an intention for allowing possibilities. In fact, in an SP session, we prime the client to just focus on an outcome, not a problem, and allowing all possibilities that may be offered. In this, we get a radical and lasting outcome, even though neither the practitioner or the client may have any idea what happened exactly. And the conscious mind will try to look at it exactly and certainly have no idea of the mechanisms that are used to create their desired outcomes. So as I said, SP is so simple because we just need to work with possibilities, not words. It's so frustrating to the new students as they are used to language and logic as the tools for life. And here we're saying, language and logic only take you so far. If you want an outcome that covers all of the human being aspects, possibilities, you need to have a process that goes past language.